there's an immediate situation which we want to make sure is properly captured and that residents have the right resources and right information. Acorn's there, I'm there, I know Aaron from my team's here. We want to make sure that we're in touch with tenants and ensure that that we're doing all we can within our today's authority. So my name is Mathieu Fleury. I'm city councillor in Ottawa. I represent the best part of our city, which includes Lower Towns, Sandy Hill, and Vanier. The macro level is we want to see affordable units built in our city. We want to protect the current rental stock, which continues to be at risk. Today it's here. Last month it was on Osgood. The month before we were in Lower Town. So, and I know Acorn's doing work across the city, not just in my neighborhood.
And back in March, a couple of guys came to our doors and issued us N13s, which are notices for rent eviction. They said the ground was contaminated, that they had bought the buildings, but the ground's contaminated. They were going to demolish the buildings and we needed to vacate.
Well, we were recently informed that there are new property owners here that are pushing existing tenants out of their property. I'm happy to see that friends and partners of Acorn have intervened, make sure that tenant rights, existing tenants are protected and able to stay here.
We didn't know what to do, so we didn't sign them. Some of us, others did sign those things. But they did not technically own the buildings. The buildings became their possession on Monday of this past week. But back in March, they were issuing these notices. And they did scare a number of tenants. Some have vacated already. Some are planning on vacating. They've gone from demolishing the building to just major renovations. Really, who knows what their plan is. You know, I've been here for over 10 years. A couple of the other gentlemen have been here for over 30 years.
Okay, so the mystery people have bought our buildings. They just go by their first name, Justin, John, and Kevin. Now, the notices they gave was March 24th. You see, they were pressuring us to sign them. Now, as you notice, there's no contact information. Who do we call? You know, and they told us they had bought the buildings March the 24th, when in fact they didn't.
To protest against these evictions that are going on for low-income people. It's going on all over Ottawa.
And why is this issue important to you?
Because I'm actually low-income myself, and I've had a lot of friends of mine whose salaries have stayed the same, and then rents go up, and you end up with a situation, unfortunately, like this. And so here's my chance to make a stand with Acorn and hopefully make things right. Unfortunately, with this situation, it's too far ahead, so we can't stop it, but we can hopefully stop the next one that comes down the pipeline.
My role as a councillor is to support the community, make sure that they know their rights, make sure that we protect the rental housing stock and the stability of the existing tenants, but also bigger is to say, what can the city do to make sure we're not in this situation? So what do we do when there is existing rental stock, and how do we prevent it from, through redevelopment, from losing that affordability? But also, how do we ensure that we're not like, that doesn't happen in the first place when there is different property ownerships, when there's new ownerships coming along.
Hello.
So what's your name and what brings you out here today?
Strongly about tenants' rights and affordable housing in Ottawa, so I'm out here to support these people getting evicted. Just general human empathy, I guess. Like, I've never had housing issues, but I can see it being, it really sucks. So I think it's cruel and unusual that we allow this to happen.
These people provided us with the name of a company, OPG Holdings. No address, no phone number. They said they own OPG Holdings. Wouldn't give us their last names or any contact information. It was only a couple of weeks ago that they established a Gmail account, and that's been our only communication. Thank you to Matthew very much for showing up. To everyone who's come from the media, thank each and every one of you, and obviously Acorn. I think what we'd like to do now is perhaps let's join in some Acorn chants. As Matthew was saying, this is not just about these two units, these two buildings. It's happening in other places in Vanier and around the city. So let's do a few Acorn chants and then perhaps do a little canvassing door to door.
I did bring forward a motion that was carried at council in last November, and we're still waiting on city legal to give us the range of tools that we have as a municipality here in Ontario to protect tenants, existing tenants, in their stability and the affordability that have been achieved through the long tenancies that are behind us here. Tenants that have been in the two buildings behind us for 10, 30 years. They should be respected, they should have rights, and they should stay here.
Our homes! Our homes! Our homes! When we leaving? Never! When we leaving? Never! When we leaving? Never! Whose rights? Ours! Whose rights? Ours!
Do you think the government can do more to help you in your situation?
Sure.
And what would you like to see them do?
Maybe some more apartment, affordable. That's kind of do downtown and $2,000 a month. I can't afford that. I'm an OA pension, my CBP. That's all I got. What will you?
Just different colleagues at work. I won't name any names, but they're living in a place, and then all of a sudden, or every month, it goes up by 3%, and their own salaries pretty much stay the same, or just life's costs go up, and so they go around the staff room asking if they can move in with somebody, and it's hard to watch that. And so we have all these luxury condos going around Ottawa, but at the same time, on the other end, we have this going on, so it's very sad.
Well, it's really aggravating because they didn't even own the property when they gave the eviction notices, and they were pressuring us to sign, and I wouldn't sign, and I said I'm getting legal advice, and they told me no, do not sign anything, and they threatened that they would withhold our free rent if we didn't sign. I said, well, I'm getting legal advice. They told me that I say no, do not sign anything. So they gave me an email address. I scanned all the letters and notices, sent them to them. And one of them told me that it looked like the N13 has been altered because it's supposed to be 4 pages instead of 3.
Oh, okay, this is Poot, People's Opinions on Popular Topics.
So they just took possession. These organizations that operate like this, they almost seem like criminals.
It's been very stressful. We don't know what's going on. So we've been doing the best we can. We reached out to Acorn, and Acorn's been wonderful with not only providing us with advice but support. We've gone through a whole range of emotions, from scared to anger. It's just been very, very stressful, and we still have no idea what's going to happen, what the end result is going to be.
Well, yeah. I find that funny because we have a lot of homeless people downtown sleeping out at night, and the way they solved that problem was putting a bar in between on benches downtown, so you can't lie down. Yes, so that was the solution, and I guess it does work. They don't sleep on benches anymore, but it's yeah, it's very upsetting to see these low measures that don't do anything. They just exacerbate the situation.
Do you think the government has done enough to help the people on this issue?
Nowhere near enough. The landlord-tenant board has been a horror show of just evicting everyone. The government, Doug Ford doesn't care. The people in power don't care. They make money off of this. They're in big with big landlords and big developers. They can build as much housing as they want, but then they'll sell it for millions because they don't give a shit about regular people.
Whose rights? Our rights. Whose rights? Our rights. When do we want them? Now. When do we want them? Now. When do we want Who are we? Acorn. What do we want?
No displacement.
Who are we?
Acorn.
What do we want? No displacement.